So today I wanted to make a video explaining what my life is as someone who's got autism, as someone who has to deal with it every single day, and as someone who is different, I suppose, than other people. Now this video was requested by quite a lot of people, actually, matter of fact, and people wanted me to explain what it's like having autism and how I deal with it every single day and how I'm going to deal with it for the rest of my life. So enjoy this video. As you guys know or may not know, I've got autism. I got diagnosed with autism at the age of 6. I can still remember it very, very properly. I had just turned 6 years old and I was looking for a new school to go to, potentially a different school. So I was always that one kid in class who was very antisocial, who never really liked speaking to kids. I guess you could say it's a form of anxiety, because even nowadays I prefer not to talk to anyone in public. I don't like talking to people in general as well. That's why I feel more comfortable speaking to people on the internet, because I guess most of us can agree that speaking on the internet is going to be always different than speaking to someone in real life. I think we can all agree on that it's just different, right? I personally enjoy speaking to people on the internet more than speaking in real life. So anyways, I was a little kid when I got diagnosed at the age of 6 of having autism. I was different than the other kids, and why I'm trying to say I was different is because I wasn't like them. I would always do my own kind of thing. I was always the quiet kid. Like, the weird thing is, I was always so quiet, yet I was always so energetic, and I would always be the most hectic one in the class, even though I would never speak. And nowadays, you see, I'm different, but I still have got autism. Trust me, there have been moments in my life that I wish that I didn't have autism. Yeah, and I'll be explaining just now why I wish I didn't have autism. So, as we progress in my years of living on this planet as a person, as an individual, beautiful king, around the ages 6.5, 7 years, I went to my new school, and just like the rest, I didn't know what was going on. You see, I think at the age of that, you don't really get to understand what it's like being autistic and being called different than the rest. But I always felt like I was different than other people, and that's why I think a lot of people can also agree with my content. That a lot of you guys seem to really like my content is because I'm honest and open. And anyways, after those years of being at school, I moved on from that special school. By the way, in the Netherlands we have two kind of schools. You got regular school, which is basically regular normal people with teachers that aren't specialized in kids with autism or problems. So you also got special school, which basically is intended for people with autism, but not only autism. We also had kids at school back then that had a slight form of autism but had a lot of problems at home. Like, a special school isn't necessarily just only for people that have autism, right? You can also go to a special school because it's advised, this school might be the best for your child. Because it's got the best teachers in the region, it's got the best system, this and that. It doesn't just have to be autism, but in general, yes, it is done for people with autism. And what's life living like autism? It's quite cool now, at least, but back in the days, it was very difficult growing up as a kid with autism, because I was just always different, and it always felt like I wasn't accepted in groups, like, that's why I also hadn't gotten a lot of friends back in the days. Like, I didn't have a lot of friends back in the days, and I had difficulty socializing with kids. Like, trust me, my mom and dad tried their best to let me interact and socialize with people, but I just kind of like refused to interact with people because I just liked staying in my own bubble. And I'm keeping it very honest with you guys. I still to this day prefer to be alone and stick in my own bubble, because that's the choice that I make personally. That's the choice I'm willing to make. You see, I've noticed, and this is my personal experience, I feel more happier when I'm alone than having people around me, because I don't feel, first of all, comfortable being around people, even if I know you good. Look, if I know you since a little kid and we grow up and we still talk to each other, we link up, then hey, that's totally fine. Then you're my brother, right? But besides that, if I see you once in a while, I always get very socially awkward when I see someone. Like, I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable being in public, and I try to avoid public and cities as much as possible, especially like the noise, because that's the one thing with my autism, at least, is that if it gets too hectic in my head, too busy, I will start to get dizzy, and I will start to become a little bit tired as well. Like, for example, like, I was shopping a couple of weeks ago for my crib. At a eventual point, it was too much for me. I couldn't handle all these things around me, the noise, all the couches around me. And you're probably wondering, what do couches have to do with that? It becomes too hectic in my head. I can't concentrate on one thing. I keep on doing. It's like I'm spacing out on drugs. Like, you cannot understand. You don't understand what it means, probably, but my mom and dad know me the best out of everyone. Like, they probably know me better without a doubt. Like, I feel like I still don't know myself personally that well in my life. But anyways, as a kid, it was very difficult for my mom and dad to grow up with me, because you see, they didn't have any experience on a kid that has autism, because my brother doesn't have autism. So he was completely very different than I was. I needed more attention, I needed more help at home, also needed more help with socializing with people. And eventually, the years I got older, I started to progress. I started to become a little bit more socially accepted within people and started to talk more with people. But I've always had that feeling of like, don't trust people even if you know them, because I don't fuck with people that much. Like, I just don't, man. The only people I really trust is my mom and dad and my brother. For the rest, no one is going to be there for me one day when I need help. And I know for a fact my mom and my dad have got my back, and I've got their back, like, and it's just me stating facts. Like, my mom and dad mean a lot to me. Like, if it weren't for them, you see, they could have easily given up on me and just could have put me up for adoption. Like, I know this may sound like a joke, but I'm being very serious. Like, you have those parents there that don't know what to do anymore. They've tried their best, they've tried everything they can for the kid, and they just put them up for adoption because they're speechless. They don't know what to do. You can say what you want. It is, yeah, of course it is sad, but at the end of the day, it's not your decision, to make. But besides me right now, I want to speak about a kid in the neighborhood that I don't know, but once in a while, with my dog Bella, because my dog Bella can sense it as well, I'm assuming that kid has autism. He's got severe autism. Now, what I want to say with that is, you've got a difference with severe autism and normal autism, right? I actually don't have severe autism, and what I'm trying to say with that is, I can independently do my thing. I can go to the shops alone. I don't need someone to go with me anywhere or everywhere I go. This, I want to say poor kid, but at the end of the day, I don't think he understands that he has it different than us. It doesn't necessarily mean he's got a bad life. I know for a fact his mom and dad truly love him. Even though I've never met their father, I've seen the mother a couple of times. My dad and I have spoken to her. She's Polish, at least from her side. I know she's Polish. I'm not sure if the husband is Polish. It doesn't matter, right? Anyways, but he's got severe autism compared to me. He's, I don't know, 5 or 6, 7. That kid can never go live on his own, because he is so autistic. He can't function properly on his own. He needs 24/7 help. And some of you guys will probably be like, oh, that's kind of sad. Yes and no, because on the other hand, it is sad because we know that he can never function properly on his own. And I'm very fortunate, and I can really say that I'm very grateful for being able to function properly on myself. And what I'm trying to say is, with function properly, some people with autism can't do anything on their own. Same thing goes for people that have Down syndrome. Most of them need help. Most of them can't live on their own because of potential dangers to themselves or dangerous to themselves. Like, there was this park years ago that we went to once in a while with my babysitter. Me and my babysitter went there a couple of times. It was a special park which was intended for people with autism to come together, but also people that had Down syndrome, right? So you see all these people, and I felt comfortable there for some reason. I don't know why, but the weird thing is, right, I can also sense when someone has autism or not. I can just sense that, like, looking at their behaviors, like if they're twirling, if they're making like twitching things, if they're not talking to you, like not looking at you face to face. Because people with autism often try to avoid eye contact. At least I do, because I find it very awkward first of all, and I feel more comfortable if I look at the ground talking. That's just how I talk sometimes. It doesn't mean that I'm rude or don't like speaking to you. I just don't feel personally comfortable speaking to you on eye contact. Like, I've always had an issue with that, but that park was amazing. Like, I felt comfortable there. And how is it like for me having autism right now? Honestly, it's really good. It's not as bad as it used to be. Like, back in the days, I couldn't control my anger, my emotions. I was also kind of like scared to go outside, because I was scared of people judging me all the time. Because you must realize, you have people, unfortunately, quite a lot of people still nowadays, even though it's widely accepted and people know a little bit more about autism, you've also got the occasion people that bully a person because of autism. Back in the days, I was embarrassed to tell people I had autism. Still to this day, I wouldn't necessarily want to say I'm embarrassed to tell people right now, but I feel like it's also not people's business sometimes. As weird as it may sound, I'm a very open and honest guy. I say a lot of things on the internet or this and that, but sometimes I feel like people that talk to me in real life don't have to know that I have autism, because I don't want them looking bad upon me or treat me different or think that I can't be capable of doing stuff on my own, because I'm fully capable. I'm not dumb. I can do all these things that you guys and regular people could do as well. I can wash the car, I can do this and this and that. I can do everything in society and for society that other people can also do, functioning without autism, just like me. So that's why I prefer, when I speak to people, not to mention autism or my autism in general, because it's a little bit of embarrassment as well, because some people still don't know what it is. Some people look at it as and frown upon it as in society and think you're stupid. With fun fact, most really clever people are autistic as well. You'd be surprised how many smart people there are in this world that are autistic, which you wouldn't even know. They say that Albert Einstein had autism. I think he did. I believe so. I mean, holy fuck, bro. How doesn't that guy think of all those numbers and stuff? But nah, autism nowadays for me, I can live with it correctly. I can cooperate with it correctly. I don't use my medicine anymore. For you guys wondering, I used to take medicine, basically prescription drugs from the drugstore, which basically it was definitely necessary. I've got to be honest with you guys, it was really necessary, and I needed it back in the days. Like, I really needed those prescriptions because I couldn't focus with my autism at school. I would be all over the place. The only downside with those pills were that I couldn't sleep at night. I always had an issue sleeping at night. Now I don't. Now I love sleeping. I go to bed at 1 in the morning and I wake up at 9:30 in the morning. I do have a headache every day. I don't know if that's normal, but every day I wake up I got a headache. I don't know if you guys can tell me what that means, but look at my eyes. Yeah, I am very tired because I've been recording. I recorded like 20 videos in like 4 or 5 days for you guys, which is an average of 5 videos a day. You know, yesterday I recorded 6 videos, the day before 4, 5, and 3 and 2. But you know, it is what it is. I like recording videos for you guys, but it's good right now. You see, I really can't complain about my life and the circumstances that I'm in, and I'm very grateful for being able to actually function properly. For anyone that doesn't have autism, this is kind of how my life is. It's, at the one hand, it's very hectic, and at the other hand, it's very peaceful. Like right now, for example, as I'm speaking, I'm all over the place. Like, even though I'm talking to you on one-on-one on the camera, I'm thinking about all sorts of things in my head right now, which is it can become very hectic, and I can sometimes even get tired of myself and be done with myself. And trust me, back in the days when I was a little kid, I wasn't completely sure what autism was, and I thought I could be cured, which I've often thought about. I want to become normal, but autism is something you can't cure. You know, you just can't cure it. Some people think it's a disease. No, it's not no disease. It's not a liability necessarily, I want to say, but someone with autism, just be cautious with them. Like, don't treat them different because they have autism. Treat them like you would treat everyone else, normal, just this and that. Don't think of us as a disability or a disabled person or potential liability, because we aren't. We also, just like you, we're also trying to live our life to the fullest, be useful to society and within society, and live our life with passion and stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching, man. Peace out.